In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. That is how the Bible begins. But in the very next verse, something changes. The earth appears formless, empty, covered in darkness, like a world already in ruins. And for centuries, some have asked, what happened between those two verses? Is there a hidden silence at the start of Genesis? A fall, an ancient war? A judgment so vast it plunged the world into chaos before Adam ever drew breath. Today, we explore one of the most mysterious theories ever attached to the Bible, the possibility that before the garden, before humanity, another world existed. The first sentence of Genesis is short, direct, absolute, a declaration of order, of perfection, of creative power. But immediately after, the text turned strange. The earth was without form and void. Darkness covered the deep, and suddenly, creation seems submerged in chaos. Why would a God of order create a world already destroyed? Why does the earth appear covered in darkness the moment after it is made? From that question was born one of the most mysterious interpretations ever connected to Genesis, the gap theory. The idea that between verse 1 and verse 2 lies a silent space in the narrative, a period the text never explains. Perhaps thousands of years, perhaps millions. A lost age between the verses, and during that interval, something happened. Something powerful enough to turn a perfect creation into a world of chaos and darkness. At the center of this theory sits a Hebrew phrase, tohu vabohu, the words used to describe the earth in Genesis 1:2. Depending on the reading, the phrase carries not just emptiness, but devastation, ruin, as though the earth had been reduced to this state by judgment, not by design. Perhaps the earth was not created in chaos. Perhaps it became chaotic. That single shift changes everything, because if the earth became formless, then something happened before, something Genesis never directly tells us. Why does Isaiah insist that God did not create the earth in vain? Why do certain prophetic judgments echo the very language of Genesis 1:2? Supporters of the gap theory believe Genesis 1 may not describe the first creation of matter at all, but a restoration, God bringing order back to a world that had already suffered some ancient catastrophe. And this is where the theory turns darker. If there truly was a judgment before Adam, what caused it? A natural collapse, a heavenly war, or the fall of a being so powerful that his judgment reshaped the earth itself? For many who hold this view, the answer begins with a name woven through ancient tradition: Lucifer. Long before Adam, before the garden, before the serpent, some interpreters believe another ruler governed the earth. Ezekiel 28 offers one of the strangest passages in the whole Bible. A being who dwelt in Eden, but not Adam's Eden, a different Eden, covered in sapphire, onyx, jasper, gold, a realm of glory, and at its center, the anointed cherub who covers. Perfect in his ways from the day he was created, full of wisdom, filled with beauty, until pride entered his heart. And the fall came. For centuries, readers have seen in this passage more than an earthly king. They have seen echoes of a heavenly rebellion, the story of Lucifer before he became Satan. And when this interpretation meets the gap theory, a haunting question rises. What if the first earth belonged to that cherub's dominion? What if before humanity, a world already existed under his rule? Isaiah 14 adds another layer, a being trying to exalt himself above the stars of God. I will ascend into heaven, I will be like the Most High, and then a fall, expulsion, humiliation. As though a rebellion had shaken the heavens themselves. This is where the Pre-Adamic theory gathers its full weight. According to this view, the earth of Genesis 1:2 was not simply empty, it was an ancient domain, a world before mankind, perhaps home to spiritual orders beyond our understanding. A world tied to Lucifer's glory before his fall. And when the rebellion came, the judgment struck not only heaven, but earth itself. That, the theory claims, is why Genesis 1:2 shows us a planet drowned in darkness and deep water, as though creation still carried the scars of a war fought before time as we know it began. A silent world, ruins without witnesses. And the Bible never explains what happened before that moment. It simply opens with the Spirit of God, moving over the waters, as if preparing to restore something broken, to call light back into darkness, to separate order from ruin, to ready the earth for a new administration. Humanity. But if this reading is correct, Adam did not wake into a brand new world. He woke into a restored one, a world remade after a judgment older than memory itself. And that leaves one question still standing in the dark. If Lucifer's fall shattered the first earth, what was that war truly like? And could its echoes still be moving beneath the world we call home? The Bible never gives us the full account, but fragments remain. Isaiah tells us he desired to rise above the stars of God. Ezekiel tells us pride and violence grew in one who was once perfect, and then fall, expulsion, judgment. For those who follow the gap theory, this was no quiet, invisible collapse. It reached into matter itself, leaving its mark on the deep, the darkness, the silence of Genesis 1:2. And perhaps that is exactly why God's first act in Genesis is not creation from nothing, but restoration. Light returns, waters divide, the earth reappears. Life begins again, as though the whole world were being called back from collapse. Even the prophet Jeremiah, centuries later, describes a vision of judgment in almost identical language to Genesis 1:2. The earth without form, the heavens without light. The mountains trembling, no man left standing. For some, this is no coincidence. It is a pattern, chaos and desolation. Again and again, following wherever divine judgment has passed. A silence between two verses, a ruin before the beginning, and a question the Bible leaves open on purpose, because some mysteries were never meant to be fully explained, only quietly restored.